Hi, it's Angie Halliwell here from the Natural Genius Academy. I'm here with another Natural Genius at Work interview as part of a longer series. And of course, throughout March, this is International Women's Day. So I am interviewing inspirational women. No surprise there. So today I have with me Mashida Syed. And Mashida is an international speaker. She's also an award recipient of the Best Personal Brand 2017 as a life transformer. Not only is she a trainer on personal transformation, but also corporate transformation too. And if that is not enough to absorb her time and for her to plow her efforts into, she also runs a transformational center called Love and Respect, and it focuses on providing mindset change and skills-based training for refugees and marginalized communities to bring them out of poverty. So how amazing is that? And I'm sure that you're really curious to hear from her. So nice to have you here. Thank you for talking to me today. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Angie. Thank you so much for reaching out and inviting me to your amazing platform.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm sure people are dying to hear from you. So, do you want to just give us a little quick synopsis of what you're doing, right now in today's world?
Okay, right now I'm currently based in Malaysia. I'm Singaporean and I married a Malaysian, and right now we're based in Kuala Lumpur. I run a corporate training company, and I do corporate training around Asia for government and for corporations, organizations. And I also have a social enterprise right now, which is the Love and Respect Transformation Center, focusing on training also the marginalized communities. Currently, we're focusing on refugees and also low-income families to come out of poverty. So this is basically what I'm busy with, aside from my family and time for myself. This is what I'm doing currently.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on there, lots of impact that you're out there creating in the world. And I think that would be great to understand, because of course you don't do this just for no reason. There is a why and a reason and a mission that you are on that really feeds and fuels all of this. Can you share with us a little bit about what is your mission and the cause but behind what you do?
Yeah. Well, to put it all in a nutshell, my goal is to spread love and respect in this world, to spread more love and respect in this world. And what I started noticing is that love and respect is highly lacking in the world today, is because the basic fundamental human emotional needs are not met. Things like appreciation, recognition, not to be criticized. These are basic emotions that people need, and that's what is currently missing. And what I would like to be able to impact in the world today is to close the income gaps. And what I also realize is, because of these huge income gaps, is because of not only because of the lack of opportunity given, but it's also because of the mindset of the people who are in certain groups. So what I'd like to work on is working with people's mindsets first, because that is the basis. And human beings are very creative, intelligent people, and if they discover the strength of their mind and their cause and their purpose, they can do a lot of amazing things. And when that's instilled with love and respect within them, when they move with love and compassion and respect for themselves and others, there will be so much positivity and positive change that's going to happen in this world. Yeah, I mean, people are so intelligent that when they lack love and respect, they can do a lot of amazing things. In a negative way. They can create chaos, they can create wars, they can create fights and amongst families. So when we instill love and respect within, that is how you use your intelligence and your knowledge and your creativity to create a lot of amazing changes in the world.
Yes, thank you.
That is what I love to do. And the reason why I reach out to organizations and also the marginalized communities is because organizations are, I would say, they're very influential. They're around the world. They have the money, they have the business, they have people working for them, the employment. when you change the mindsets of leaders in these organizations, they can create so much impact in a fast way around the world. And I reach out to the marginalized communities, because when I focus on the leaders in these marginalized communities, they can work on their own communities and their people to come out of a certain mindset, come out of certain did you manage to get that?
You went somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, we lost you for a moment there.
Yeah, but I think it was just a little short moment. But
a little short moment.
I think
a little more short moment. You were just finishing off why it is that you do this, and the impact that you can.
Yeah.
So so thank you for sharing that. But of course, it hasn't always been this way. It hasn't always. You have not always been doing what you've been doing today, and there is obviously a journey and a story behind what really fueled this and ignited this for you to step into what you're doing today. So what is your story?
Okay, I have many stories, but I think the most significant one that led me to what I am doing right now is the time when my last business failed. I had another business before what I'm doing right now, and I was doing an events business. And back then, I was making a lot of money at one time. And when that business failed, and I was $150,000 in debt, I had zero in my bank account. That was when I experienced really having no money at all. And at that time, I only had a few dollars in my wallet, and that was before I came to Kuala Lumpur. So when I was facing all that challenges, and when people are used to seeing me at a certain income level, they don't understand when I have no money, and I really had no money. So at that point, I realized there are two types of people. One is the kind that when you are in trouble, that they just want to see you worse off for some reason. They just want to make your life even more miserable. And then there's another type of people who just want to help you out, and they don't even ask for anything in return. And I told myself, I want to be the latter, And when I came to KL, when my husband got a job here, when he came to Kuala Lumpur in 2006, I went along with him, hoping that he will support me. But he was fired, and we had no money. So I was left with only 2 ringgit. I had no money. I had only 2 ringgit in my wallet. But that was when I started to focus on my why. You mentioned why just now. And the easiest thing to do is to give up, go back to Singapore and just complain about life. And that, and I have get a job or something like that. But I told myself at that point, no, I'm going to save my family. I'm going to keep this family together. I'm going to go through it no matter what. So my why in 2006 was my family. That was my why. So I hung on to that, and I looked at what I had at that time. I didn't have money, but what I did was I opened my laptop and I found there were like 300 names of CEOs and emails that I have no idea it was even there. It was probably, like my last staff keying in something. And I said it was in Kuala Lumpur based. It was Kuala Lumpur based CEOs with their emails. So I started to email all of them. I started email all of them, and then only one person replied, and it's the founder of Napoleon Hill, and she said, yes, come to my office. So I came to her office, and the next day she booked a meeting at 9 o'clock. So I was there early in the morning, and then I started to ask her questions. And this is the reason why I'm teaching people about love and respect, because what I realized at that time was when I started asking questions, she was so excited. She talked about her business, she talked about herself, And then I asked this magic question. I said, how can I help you in your business? Is there anything you think I can support you with? And she said, yes, I'm looking for people who would buy my trainer packages. And at that time, it was like 4,000 ringgit. And people think it's expensive, and there's no personal trainer. You have a personal coach. You have to do everything online and pass an exam, which is not easy, in order for you to get your certification. So I said, what if I could help you get trainers? And she said, oh, I'll be very grateful. So what I did at that time was I started calling people from Singapore, because I remember she told me Malaysians do not want to buy. She had challenges finding Malaysians to buy. So I said, why not ask Singaporeans? And that was what I did. I had about 300 or no, 100 plus contacts on my mobile phone. And I started SMSing all of them and asking if anybody interested to become a trainer. Nobody replied except for one person. And this person replied and said 4,000 ringgit or 4,000 Singapore dollars. So I said, it's 4,000 ringgit. And after that, she said, okay, I'm going to buy. And she transferred the money. And I went to the office the same day and I gave that 4,000 ringgit to Napoleon Hill, right? And she was like, wow, she gave me 1,000 ringgit on the spot. And remember, at that time, I didn't ask her about commission. I just said, okay, I just wanted to increase my influence. So by helping people, maybe, you know, people get to know me better in Malaysia. And that, of course, she remembered me. She gave me 1,000 ringgit and she said, this is your commission. So I was like super happy. So I said, okay, now I can eat better, but it was not enough for me to start a life in Malaysia, right? So I said, if I keep doing this, perhaps I can get more. I did the same thing the next few days and nothing happened. And then the Singaporean who bought the package called me and she said, it's amazing package, you know, it's so value for money. And I asked her the same magic question, which was, how can I help you? Is there anything I can help you? And she said, hey, do you know any millionaires in Malaysia? Ha ha ha. She thought I didn't know. So I was like, oh yes, the owner of Napoleon Hill is a millionaire. Do you want me to introduce you? And she said, yes, please. And of course, you know, the owner of Napoleon Hill, she was like, who would want to see her customer, right? So I hooked them up. The next morning, the Singaporean flew over to Kuala Lumpur. They had a meeting. And after the meeting, the Singaporean person came to me and she said, you know what? It was a done deal. I got along very well with her and I can close the business. And she said, Mushida, thank you so much. Can I give you your commission up front? And I said, I was not even expecting a commission. So I was like, oh, there's a commission? She said, yes, I'll transfer it into your bank account before I go back to Singapore. So I was like, okay, fine. And then when she left that time, I found that there was in my bank account the next morning close to 20,000. So I went from 2 ringgit to 20,000 in less than 2 weeks. But it was like something that I was reflecting. I said, how did all this happen? And that's how I started my business. Okay, I started my business. And when I started to think of how I went through that journey from 2 ringgit to 20,000, that's where love and respect came in. First thing was love and respect for my family. I did not just, you know, my why was very big at that time, and that was the power of love. I could give up, I could panic, but when I focus on love, that's where I found my strength, right? And then I did something that I didn't do before in the past, which was giving. I was always the one taking, you know, trying to see how I can get the best out of the deal, negotiate so that I can win better. But at that point, I asked that question, how can I help you? And my intention was to help people without asking anything back. And what I got was more than what I expected. So and it's been a tried and tested journey, ING. Every time I give without expecting anything in return, amazing things that I've always set my intention to get, I will get. Get from some other sources, you know. So this is something that I also do now in my life, and also educating in my corporate training as well as in my other trainings, my public talks. So the power of giving. And the other thing that I learned was ask the right questions. And most of the time, I have asked the wrong questions. Wrong questions meaning, why this happened to me? Why is the economy like this? Why are people like this? So instead of asking those weak questions, ask the right questions, like, how can I get out of this? How can I solve this problem? What can I do to change the situation? So once I did that and I found the solutions, that's the message. And that's the message that I have in my life right now, and it's in action. So it started from, I believe it started from that 2 ringgit story of mine, 2 ringgit to 20,000. And of course, along the journey in my life, there were many other stories. But when I go back to the learning, it's going back to the same thing. The why, love and respect, giving, and asking the right questions and providing solutions. Yeah.
Yes, nice. So come from a place of giving and it will get you far. And what's nice about that story is that it just took just one person to say yes, right? Forget about all the others that said, that didn't respond. And, we focus very much on the people that don't respond as the majority, because it's the majority of people, but it doesn't matter. Focus on the one person that is believing in you and the one person who is responding and, hearing your message. They're the people to focus on, and that's what's going to get you further, right? Focusing on the right thing,
exactly,
the message.
Exactly. But also at the same time, when I was doing that, even though those people didn't respond, I just kept in touch through email or But that was how I increased my influence here in Kuala Lumpur. That was how I got more networks, because I was just reaching out, getting to know people, asking them, how can I help you? So that is powerful.
Because no response doesn't mean no, it just means they haven't responded yet, right? They're not even read
exactly.
We have a very different time scale to you. Like, we want to move ahead, we want things to go quick. You're like, why haven't you read this? Why aren't they responding? Oh, they don't like what I'm saying, or they rejected me. It's like, maybe they just haven't even had time to read it.
Exactly. But we got to keep moving, right?
Yes, exactly. But don't let the story that you're created in your mind take over, right? Become grounded. Get grounded.
Right. Exactly.
So one of the key things that you've just shared about there is come from a place of giving. And a place of positivity. What kind of habits or practices do you embed into your everyday life for you to stay strong and grounded in your own mindset?
Okay, this is like a no excuses policy of mine. Every time I wake up, and that is my prayers. I do pray every day, and I pray 5 times a day, being a Muslim. But what grounds me is that early morning prayers, and meditation, and this is also another thing that I've also started to include is journaling time. And I find journaling is so powerful. As you write, as sometimes you do a brain dump, or you write all your gratitude. It works on a different level as well, because you're moving and you're thinking, right? So journaling is very powerful. I would say these 3 main areas, keeps me very grounded.
Yes.
And of course, the environment, like my family, is always within my family as well. Of course, sometimes there are some challenges, but we resolve it as fast as possible. These are all the main things that we do.
Yes.
We're very upfront. If we're not happy, we just say it, but of course with love and respect, and the purpose is to resolve it as fast as possible.
Yes. So focus on resolution. Focus on the outcome, on the positive outcome. Nice. So we meet many teachers.
So that's how I stay strong.
Yes, thank you. So we meet many teachers along the way. Sometimes it can be just someone that we've met very temporarily as a fleeting moment, and sometimes there's people that stick around in our lives for a longer period of time. But there's lessons that we learn and things that we take for them and inspiration that we can get. Who stands out in your mind as somebody that's been a real key person in your life and has impacted you in a positive way, and why?
Okay, I have many, but I would okay. I think, because if you choose only one, I would choose my husband. Yay! He says, yay!
Because he's in the room.
He is, I think, one of the key teachers in my life. Actually, I don't think he has known that I would acknowledge this. I would normally acknowledge a lot of coaches and teachers, but I would say if I were to choose all of them, I would choose my Zil Zainuddin, my husband, because of the journey that we have gone through, the challenges, and he's always getting me to really negative person, very analytical, and try to criticize emphasize a lot of things, but I would say he has helped me channel my energy toward, and also he was my first teacher to teach me how to train IFE. And there was one time in Kuala Lumpur, the Department of Statistics requested someone to teach event management skills, and because of my last business, which is in events, I knew how to train, but I know how to organize an event, but I don't know how to train. So they still knew the format of what a training module should be like, a training day should be like. So he coached me on that. And now after that training, it was just by word of mouth. And that's been 10 years I'm doing training and public speaking and coaching. So yeah, he has taught me how to coach, how to train, public speaking skills, and also going through the challenges that we all go through in our life. Yeah, it's more positive. So he's the one.
Oh, how lovely! How lovely.
Yeah.
So, I believe that everybody has their own unique talents and gifts that they have to share with the world. You know, some of us might call it our calling or our unique talents. I like to call it their natural genius. It's just a term that I create. What is that for you? What are your gifts and talents that you feel compelled to share with the world?
This is a very good question when you just asked me just now on the genius, because I would say that this is something I also discovered about myself over the years doing what I do now, and it's my energy, and and this is something that people have been giving me feedback, like, you know, every time I come and meet them, they feel like there's a sense of hope, or there's something good that's going to come out of it. And I'm like, me, you know? But it's over the years, I realized that, yes, because I came from a space of love, and when I start to talk, and my energy just comes out of my mouth and my voice, I would say that would be my genius, my voice, and my energy, and my message, and my intuition, my intuitive skills that I have fine-tuned over the years, to be able to empathize with people, and to be able to go from their space and taking them out to where it is that they want to go. And that has brought, I think, I believe it's my energy and my voice has impacted the level of influence that I get around people and growing my networks. So I believe that's it. And ever since I was I started going up on stage and speaking and training, I discovered that was my purpose. That was my purpose. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're not even in person here, and I can just feel the positivity and the love and the respect oozing out of you. But what would it be like if we were in person? I'm sure people watching this too really get that as well. Really get that. And what a lovely thing to have, you know, to be able to create the impact that you want.
Yeah, I'm still on the journey, and it is a lifelong journey for me. So yeah, I hope, you know, I pray for my health, that I'll be able to carry this message longer.
Yes, and I think that's a really important point, you know, that it is a lifelong journey. We kind of see success as if it's like this one end point. And of course, human beings being human want to get there as quickly as possible. When we don't get there. But the reality is that actually there's lots of things that we want to achieve, and it's going to be a lifelong journey. And when you've met that one goal, or that one outcome that you had in your mind, then there's going to be something else, right, that you kind of move on to next. So it's something that we need to look at as something continual, as a continual growth, rather than this one thing in this one state, and we're going to live happily ever after. That's the story of it. Storybooks lied to us.
Yes,
It's
happy
no
about.
Prince Charming
Yeah,
when it comes to
yeah,
sweeping you
yeah,
away.
yeah. International Women's Day. No, the end goal is not the Prince Charming.
Yeah.
You become your
Forget
own Prince Charming. Yeah,
Charming. Not
yeah,
real.
yes,
Don't do
yes.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So lastly,
Absolutely.
just to wrap up our conversation here, if there's people watching that are kind of thinking about stepping out to do that next thing, whether it's changing their career, whether it's becoming an entrepreneur, something for them that feels like a big step, and they're a bit hesitant, maybe a bit nervous to do that, what advice would you offer them in that situation?
Yeah, remember my 2 ringgit story. You know, when I was before I moved to Kuala Lumpur, 2 years I was broke because I was in that comfort zone. I was not comfortable, but I was still comfortable enough. I had food, I had shelter. So it's like me complaining for 2 years. So when I was given, in Kuala Lumpur, I was given a deadline, right? I had 2 ringgit and I was asked to leave the house we were staying in. I had a 2-week deadline. So that was when, I started to think of what I needed to do. So if you stay on in that discomfort, whether you're still comfortable, you're not moving, but if you desire to go somewhere, go back to your why. And that was for me. I went back to my why. Why am I doing this? Why is it important? Who will impact? And your why is not you. Your why is something bigger than you, right?
Yes.
So everybody has a different why. So for you going out, for anybody who's out there who's like they have a lot of fear, they have a lot of negative thinking of whether they can or cannot and all that, go back to your why. And of course you see what tools you already have, your resources that you already have, and just do it. Once you get past that space of the block that was there, and I call it a bubble. It's not even that, it's like a bubble. You think it's going to block you, you just need to step out, and once you step out, pop, the bubble breaks and you're in a totally different reality. And most of the time the reality is like, oh my god, this is it, I should have done this 10 years ago. And that is what you just need to do. You just need to get out of that discomfort, and call that discomfort, it's a bubble. Get out of it and you'll see a totally different reality. Yeah, so in order for you to help you step forward, for me, it's to go back to my why.
Yes.
Why is it so important? Yeah.
So the why needs to burst the bubble of fear.
Right? Exactly.
Burst the bubble
Yeah.
of fear with your why.
Yeah.
Because it's bigger than your fear. Or it should be bigger than your fear, right? It needs to be bigger than
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a little bubble pop, that's it. Yeah. And then when it's like when you're on the other side, you'll be looking back, and that was it. That's all I had to do,
Yes.
So you need to go. And most of the time people do not burst that bubble. They just stay in there and living with the fear and depression and
Yes.
lack of self-esteem and all that, all the negative things. And that is why they attract a lot more negative into their life. So I'll say, just go towards the light. Go towards the light. Yeah. Yeah. Go to where it is that you want to go. Yeah.
Exactly. So burst out of the negativity and move towards the positivity, because they both exist.
Yeah.
And you need to choose.
Exactly.
You have to choose which one you want to connect to.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your energy, all of your words of wisdom, your inspiration, your story to show people that, just everyday, ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things once they know why they are doing something, and also when they have the right mindset in place. So thank you so much for sharing, and I'm sure people watching this have been able to take away a couple of little golden nuggets from you in the hope that it will inspire some positive change in people's lives. Thank you so much for watching, those of you that have been watching. And if you would like to know how you could supercharge your success in 2019, then do check out the link in this post as well. And until next time, take care. Thank you, Moshida.
Bye. Thanks, Anjingma. Bye.